Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Blue Devils in Depth podcast. My name is Alex Grove, and we got a good show for you guys today on this lovely Tuesday afternoon. Right, we got all sports from homecoming weekend. Right, we got the Hall of Fame inductees. I know the Hall of Fame has not inducted anybody in the past couple years, and this is the first class in that time frame. So it's gonna be a good one. Strap in, everybody, and let's talk sports, man. Let's talk sports. But this did used to be a show. Like we did used to have a podcast. It was with Jason Ross, right? Jason, Jason Ross. Like he definitely paved the way, and he's also a huge deal here in especially in the media comms area side of things, especially that major. With Jason Ross, just a little light on him. Like I said, big deal. Really much of a legend around here. He did the play-by-play, was the first African-American play-by-play commentator for the Chicago Blackhawks in the NHL, right? Obviously, some people could make the argument, say, oh, Kevin Weeks, Anson Carter. Yeah, no. Kevin Weeks, that's color. Anson Carter, analytical. Same thing with Kevin Weeks as well, right? But for Jason to do the play-by-play of a National Hockey League game, right, that's freaking amazing, right? And just the timing of it all as well. It's just like I was just coming out of junior hockey. I'll get to that in a little bit, but just coming out of junior hockey, about to enroll into college, and seeing that Jason started up and did the Chicago's Blackhawks game, I was like, okay, that basically confirmed me coming here. And he didn't just do the Blackhawks. This past preseason, he called a couple games for the Detroit Lions, right? And then also heard that he's working with the Big Ten now. So big stuff, and big congratulations to Jason. Jason, if you are hearing this, thank you for paving the way. But getting into the show, this past weekend we had homecoming weekend, right? Had a lot of teams playing. We had women's hockey, men's hockey, football, tennis, golf. They just recently played, right? And we also had the inductees for the Hall of Fame, right? We had one coach, 3 players, and the super fan, right? And I think we should get started by talking about with the Hall of Fame, like with going to the field house regularly, right? Especially walking into the gym, right? You walk in, right? There's a front desk, and then you have the Hall of Fame wall right behind there. Right, that's obviously a lot of inspiration, especially for me as an athlete. And seeing that this recent class just got in, right, doing my research, this is a well-deserved class. Well-deserved class. A lot of these guys really had left their mark on the LTU teams that they play for, the respective teams that they play for, and also on the school as well. Right, and one of those inductees, is actually still teaching here. Right? Dr. Schneider, right? He's an associate professor of physics here at the university, the Blue Devil super fan, and I've actually seen him in the games I've gone to for the soccer games, the volleyball games, and also the football games. This dude is one of the loudest fans I have heard ever. Right? He's always showing up to support the LTU teams. And the Blue Devil family is strong, right? And it could be a sold out game. Like I remember at a football game I went to, forgot who the football team was playing, but it was basically like a sold out game, right? And the loudest person you could hear outside of the band and the hockey team that was there, right, like cheering on, was Dr. Schneider. You could hear him throughout. He always has the wig. He has the get-ups. He brings his whistle sometimes. Like, he has the Blue Devil horns. Like, he is a true Blue Devils fan through and through. Right, Dr. Schneider, if you see him in the hallway, students, give him a big shout. Give him a high five. Give him something, because that dude deserves his flowers, and he's in the Hall of Fame now. Right, and also going down the list. Right, along with Dr. Schneider, you got Haley Butler, Coach Steven Bimlander, Kadeja Kylo, right? If I mispronounced that name. I apologize. Right, and also Tyler Winningham. Right, like I said, these guys, these athletes have left their marked, athletes and coaches. With Coach Steven Bimlander, and he's the one that started up the tennis program. I know the tennis players really know him. Like, he just retired about 2 years ago, right, 2021. So he left his mark on the tennis team by being the founder of the program and also leading them to multiple finals appearances. Right, like he left with a winning record, right, 179 to 179 wins, 136 losses, right, a 5.68 winning percentage, .568 winning percentage, right, one coach of the year, right, 2015, 2018 led the men's teams, and in 2017 led the women's squad to be nationally ranked for the first time, and also later on to national finals appearances, right, with Haley Butler, right, basketball star. She has become the first women's basketball player to reach 1,000 points, right, and with the schedule that with how long the schedule is for basketball, basically for college sports anyhow, reach 1,000 points, that's definitely a huge milestone. Right, then you got Tyler Winningham, Kadeja Kylo coming up the rear. Kadeja, and she lacrosse legend in her right. She ended her career with 157 goals, 210 points, and 235 ground balls. And I played lacrosse when I was in high school, and ground balls ain't easy, right? It may seem and look easy, but those are some hard working stats right there, right? And like, I remember when I was looking this up the other night, right? Like, on the ice, right? I'm the guy I'm the grind guy, right? I go in the corners, right? I take the big hits, I get the loose pucks, I win the battles, so on and so forth, right? Compared to lacrosse, that's basically what she was doing, right? Like, with those 235 ground balls leading to those goals and other points, right? With Tyler Winningham, right? Defender for soccer, and out of all three of the players that got inducted, Tyler Winningham actually went on to play pro soccer, right? Now, he wanted to play pro soccer for the Michigan Stars and the Detroit City Football Club, right? He's not playing anymore for his teams, but he's definitely still making an impact in the world. Like, he just went to the Naval Post Grad School in 2020. Right, and he also in that same year became a finalist for the Art Diaz Memorial Award, right? So a lot of big stuff coming from those Hall of Famers, and not just in school, but also what they're doing since graduating, started out their careers, which is like we wish them the best of luck going forward, and also just paving the way. Like, once again, they're paving the way for all the other students that are still here currently, and for those that did play with them that are still playing now. Right? They had some great people to look up to and some great people to be a part of their teammates. So now turning to present day sports. Right, we talked about the legends. All right, and now we're talking about the present day. All right, so like I mentioned earlier, we had homecoming weekend. Everybody was playing. The two teams that really stood out, right? Soccer teams, both men's and women's soccer teams. The men's and women soccer teams both play Concordia. We're gonna start off with men's soccer here. Men's soccer, right? They went to the weekend 9-1-1, right, and then came out 10-1-1, right? They played Concordia. They played them hard. They played them fast, right? 3-0 was the final score, right? So a couple stats there. Reese Still, right? Reese Still with his first scored a goal. Right? Thomas Peoria scored one, and Gonzalo Ferrando, right? All pitching in to help this team offensively. And then the back end on defense, you got the senior goalkeeper, Kieran Malachino, right? Like, they really showed up. They showed out. All soccer players, especially at this school, has really been fun to watch. Right, like seeing all their games, They have been really fun to watch, really entertaining to watch, and also like seeing how the fans react during some of the soccer games. And it's always fun hearing some of the fans chants for the LTU team, and also hearing a couple chirps here and there against the opponents as well. Like fan interactions. I'm telling you, students, if you want a good time, go to these sports games. I'm telling you right now, especially when you catch the other teams supporting each other. Right? The LTU teams, the LTU athletics is one big happy family. So you will catch hockey teams going to football games, football teams going to volleyball games, stuff like that. So you will see basically at least one or two sports there supporting each other, and it is a great time when each team goes up and supports each other. And we got the standings here. We got Lawrence Tech. Oh snap! We're first in division, followed by Aquinas, Indiana Tech, Madonna, Aquinas. Apologies for that. Aquinas, Indiana Tech, Madonna, Siena Heights. What's that? Lourdes, right? Lourdes, Cleary, Northwestern Ohio, Cornerstone, Michigan, Dearborn, Concordia, and Rochester. With LTU leading the pack. 5 games played. They are 4-0-1 for men's soccer in the conference. Both. I don't know about you. I don't know if you've been watching both teams, but both men's and women's. Like I know women's is breaking a lot of records this year, right? Like this has to have been like one of the best women's soccer teams, if I'm not mistaken. Because like especially because they start off hot. Like weren't they undefeated with their first 5-6 games? They were undefeated. Yeah, Deanna Hill, right? Deanna Hill, sorry, Deanna Hill. Malia May, right? This is going to be a tough one. You guys to help me out. Michaela Warrenakis. All right, Warrenakis. All right. Well, I'm glad that we got that figured out because last night I was legit practicing how to pronounce that name for like 10, 15 minutes. I still got it wrong. But Warrenakis, right? Like those 4 players, like I know everybody else is pulling their weight, right? Everybody's pulling their weight, and even players who are injured, right? They're still helping out. They're still supporting the team on the bench, cheering them on, right? But just those 4 just really have stood out this whole entire season with how their play is, and just like we can't forget like although we highlight the individual, right? You can't break records without a whole team being one mind, right? I know that's one thing that the hockey coaching staff is always preaching about. Coach Dyer, he's the men's soccer coach or women's soccer coach? Will Dyer. Yeah, men's soccer coach. Will Dyer, he actually recently got 100 games. Coach Dyer, 100 games in the books with wins, 100 wins. To clarify that, he got that in the books, and that's a huge accomplishment, huge milestone. Anytime you reach the century mark on anything, and it's always going to be a huge milestone. Right? But yeah, the Blue Devils soccer programs, they are here to compete. They're here to play, and I honestly see both of these, both men and women's soccer teams going to nationals. I see a lot of our teams this year going to nationals, like with how they started the season, with how the conference play is going on. Right? For some teams, it's still early season, like still too early to call, but just being there firsthand and like seeing it all, and honestly, like I said, with me being part of the hockey team, actually practicing and playing, you can really see that each and every athlete wants to go to nationals, wherever nationals may be for that respected sport. Right? Sadly, there won't be one team that will possibly be headed to playoffs, and that's the football team. Right? Football team, they play Concordia. Oh, I just had it. They play Concordia on Saturday. Right? Started off hot, right? After the first quarter, we're up 7-0, right? Then for the rest of that game, right, it didn't go in their favor, which is sad to hear. But the fact of the matter is, right, even if you lose a game, you always got to ask yourself, did you play your best? Did you play your hardest, right? And did you go out there and leave everything on that field or ice, right? Right. In this case, the field, right? That's the main thing. Right. They were able to score in the first and third quarter, right? Like I said, touchdown in the first, field goal in the third. Had a shutout. Had a shutout, and defense had shutouts in the first and fourth quarter, which is great. Great stuff. But the offense couldn't get anything done in the second. Defense kind of yielded 10 points. And then third quarter, defense yielded up 2 touchdowns. It happens, right? Football's football. Sports is sports. Stuff happens. It's all about how you get back on the saddle. But one thing to me, right? And this since we're on that topic of just getting back on the saddle of things, right? And like talking about like that playoff race and like getting back on the saddle. There we go. That's the main thing, right? Is that the one thing that's excited to look forward to is the next season, because I know football has dealt with a couple of injuries, right? And like there's a couple people, there's just a couple of key players that are out with injury. Like I know if one player that pops up to mind right away is Devon Bentley, right, running back for LTU, right? He suffered a hand injury, right, and wasn't able to play, right? But next man up, right? Next man up mentality. Who's willing to fill in that role? Who's willing to do the best they can in order to help this team win? And if you're not winning games, help this team grow, right? I know there's been like talking to some of the football players throughout the school year so far, right? Like you got freshmen that usually aren't on the field, right? But now they're playing, right? You got freshmen, second stringers, right, that are playing. Yeah, they're not winning games, like I said earlier, but at least they're playing hard. Right? At least they're showing heart, right? And it kind of makes me look forward to next season, right? Because with all the freshmen getting reps, and not just freshmen but also underclassmen, I should say, with all the underclassmen getting reps, right? Next season should be one to look forward to, in my opinion. And it should be one to look forward to. And right now you got to look on to the next game, right? University of St. Francis. That's an away game in Indiana. All right. That's the next game for the football team. All right, look at their schedule here. As the football season is about to wrap up. All right, they have 4. They have 4 guaranteed games left on the year. Like I said, they got St. Francis coming up on the 14th, Saturday. And then next week, you got Siena Heights. And then after those 2 games, 2 huge games that I see as must-wins, right? Whether you're in the playoff race or not, these 2 are must-win games, right? Taylor University on Senior Day. You got to do the seniors right. Have to do the seniors right. Have to show up, show out, right? And absolutely leave the seniors with a good taste in their mouth, saying, like, hey, look, we won the day, we won the game, everybody had a good time, right? And then the week after that, another big game, more of a bragging rights game, right? But yeah, this game is more of a bragging rights game. The County Line Classic of I-96, LTU versus Madonna. That's going to be against Madonna. Right, that's going to be in Livonia. Right, the last home game is Senior Day, Taylor University. I should mention that. But yeah, so the County Line Classic, that's definitely a must-win. Right, that's definitely got to be a playoff atmosphere game, in my opinion. Right, anytime you go against a rival, especially when you have a County Line Classic, right, that's definitely got to be big wins. That's the standard. Standard, win every rep, right? D-line, beat the O-line, finish your blocks, right? You're going to have DBs locking up, quarterbacks throw them touchdowns, receivers, running backs, run your routes, catch them, run them. Dude, County Line Classic, big win. You know what? I'm even going to do a prediction. I'm going to do a prediction. Next 4 games. I say for the next 4 games, I think we're going to go 3-1. That's my prediction. I think we're going to go 3-1. Right now, I would obviously I would like to be a part of the Blue Devils. It'd be like, oh yeah, you gotta say 4-0. Like you gotta be okay. Let's be realistic here, okay? And I say we're gonna finish the season on 3-1, right? Right. These guys got senior day to look to, the county class to look to, right? Like you can't turn and look at the season and say that these guys aren't playing hard. These guys are playing hard. I've seen it firsthand. Shoot, I feel like that against Fort Wayne, in Fort Wayne against St. Francis. Forgive me for that. I feel like that's going to be a close one. But the games against Siena Heights, Taylor University, Madonna, I think they're going to finish off on a high note and go 3-1 there. Go 3-game winning streak on that one, and then after that, off season, right? More recruits are coming in. More recruits will be coming in. Right? The underclassmen will definitely have a promotion in playing time when they earn it, right? And that's my prediction for football. I say 3-1 to end out the season, right? And speaking of 3-1s, actually they're not 3-1. The schedule isn't 3-1 yet, but transition over to hockey. All right, we're going to start off with the men's hockey team. Right, both D1 and D3 were in action last weekend. So D3 played against Calvin University. It was a home and home. Same with D1, they played against Cleary. It was the same thing of a home and home. And funny enough, right, both teams split the weekend 1-1. Right, but it was kind of funny how the weekend got split. Right, you had D3 lose on Friday, D1 wins Friday. Then as soon as Saturday hits, the roles reverse. Right, D3 wins, D1 loses. But the thing with how D3 and D1 plays for the hockey team, that falls into line with the conversation of like you could definitely tell these guys are hungry for national championships. You can definitely tell these guys want that ticket to St. Louis. Right, both teams were in nationals last year. They both went to Boston. The D1 squad, they lost to Michigan Dearborn in round 1, I believe. That left a bitter taste in their mouth. And talking to some of the D1 guys, right, especially King and Rundle. I remember we were during main camp when Coach Gaffney was asking vets for like, hey, what's your input? Right, what's your input on the year? What's you guys' goal? Because coaches already know their goals. They brought in the guys who they believe is going to be the ones that are going to take them back to nationals. Right, you got key veterans coming in like Garrett Sample, Keegan Rundle, Sean Pillay, Timo I, right, and then you got Brandow and the back end along with Tomei, right. So, right, you have the pieces, but when talking to Keegan Rundle, right, the way that he was talking to the team and stood in front of everybody in main camp, all 70 guys, mind you, 72 guys actually. 72 guys on the hockey teams between both teams, right? When he stood in front of all 72 of us, right? And you can just tell, like the words that he said, like, we had to taste nationals, right? Sadly, we didn't go all the way with it with D1, but that left us hungry for more, right? Keegan Rundle is definitely one of the he's one of the leaders on there. He may not have an A or a C, but he's definitely one of the guys that helps out the team. He's definitely one of the leaders up there. Right? A good locker room presence in the room, right? And with Keegan Rundle being there, right, that he really adds a physical presence to the game as well, right? But going on, still talking about D1. Right? On Friday, A little recap with the D1 teams weekend. On Friday, 5-1 win. They went to Cleary. They said we're not intimidated by y'all, right? We're the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils. We're gonna put the Trident down in y'all, right? Right, and 5-1 win, leading the way. You got new guys, Drake Barnish, transfer Drake Barnish. He came from Utica, right? D3 NCAA D3 program. And then you have David Hofteaser, right? Rookie coming out of junior hockey. He came from the Richmond Generals out of the USPHL Premier. And that's the same league I played in. We just played in different conferences, right? But those two guys really just lit the lamp, or led the way in the offensive side of things, right? They weren't the only two that scored, but those two really really lit the lamp. And then with Noah Brandow, he started Friday's game. Got injured halfway through the first, but Brett Tomei, he definitely had he definitely stepped in when his number was called. He stepped in, he showed up, he showed out. Right, that Friday they turned an away game into a home game, and they start off the season right on that note. Right, but then we go forward and to Saturday. Now Saturday for D1. Like I said, it was a home and home against Cleary. So they beat Cleary Friday, lost to Cleary Saturday. And being at that game, right, first period was really good. They had a really good first period. Right, they definitely came out strong. like they definitely came out strong. Right, scored two good goals at the end of the first. And then second period, Cleary just answered right back, and they took it and ran with it. So there's definitely some stuff to learn from that, and I'm very confident that they will make the adjustments for the D1 squad. And talk about D3, right? Calvin, like I said, went into Calvin's barn on Friday, lost that game 3-1. Wasn't really just a bad game, just a lot of penalty trouble there. Right? That's like, I honestly think stayed out the box, we would have had that game in the bag. But D3 then proved that on Saturday, the following day. Got a 3-0 win, and a big shout out to Owen Prisbol. Owen had his first shutout in college hockey in his collegiate career on Saturday. Right? It was a really good performance, not just by him, but also by the team's defense. Right? You got guys like Connor Uhas. He was blocking shots all day. Nick Oda, right? When especially on the penalty kill was locked down. Right? Goals by Devin Ginsel and Connor Uhas. He had two of them. Right? So those guys led the way for D3 picking up that win on Saturday. And staying with the hockey portion of it all, the women's hockey faced their rivals in Michigan Dearborn. Dropped both games. It was another home and home. Like, that seems to be a common theme in hockey is home and homes. One game there and then one game back here, for those who don't understand the term. And the first game, when reading about it, Alec, you won't believe this, but 71 shots to 7. The good news is, right? The goalie for that game, let's see, it's hockey. See, go down here. Rachel Hart. Good news is, she stopped 64 shots. All right. Anytime, like, I know 7-0 is always terrible on paper, unless you're playing football. Unless you're playing football, that's basically a 1-0 game. But for hockey, that ain't good. But, right, Rachel Hart, she did the best she could, right? Stopped 64 or 71 shots. Anytime you can stop more than 50 shots in a game, that's still impressive. That's still, like, you're still having good positioning, right? Like the hockey team didn't score on that game, but they came in on the second game, on Saturday's game, and did a little bit better. Right? They did better. Saturday's game still lost. The score was 5-1, But you can definitely tell the adjustments were there. You can definitely tell that they were playing better. You can definitely tell that they were playing more like a team. Not like they're definitely playing more like a team. Like they definitely didn't give up 70 shots. I can tell you that much. All right, they only gave up. Let's see, five. I gotta make sure my math is right because Chloe Limke. Did I pronounce that name right? Limke. All right. So Chloe Limke stopped 38 shots. Right, led in 5, but she stopped 38. So that's over 40 shots. Over 40 shots given up. Right. Compared to the 71 the night before, that's improvement. The forecheck was doing something, right? The defense was doing something, right? And sadly, like I said, not a whole lot, because like you still gave up 5, right? It's 5-1 game, but at least you got a goal. At least you got some offense, right? Their record, they go down to 2-2 on the season so far. Their next game is going to be October 20th for those that are Friday, October 20th at 10 p.m. Another home and home action weekend. Same thing with the also a little with the men's hockey team. Before I forget, their next games is going to be this upcoming weekend as well. We got some big news within the conference though. Big news, and so Defiance College, they're coming in. They were a NCAA D3 program for sports, but now they're joining the NAIA. Forgive me on that. Sorry, boys. But the NAIA league from the NCAA. And with them being a full member, more competition, right? And I feel like that's going to be more excitement for all sports teams that they offer. So we'll definitely keep an eye out on who they got, and it's gonna be real fun. Go be playing. Go be having them come to us, and also going over there to them, playing against them, and the respective sports. So golf, they just played, and they had a good weekend. Nightmare and Dream. That is one way to pronounce a course. The Nightmare and the Dream golf course. Right? Ella Smith. She had a big day. Ella Smith. She hit a hole in one. Big ups. Big ups. Like Ella Smith, great job. Ella Smith had a big day. You also got some of the other freshmen. My stutter's coming. Tanawan, right? Tanawan, she had a good day, right? Alex Schickel, right? She had a good day as well. Basically, all of our golfers had good days for both men's and women's, right? They both those teams showed up. They showed out. They played, right? Right. Just to close things out here. I do like to say, and hopefully continue to do this as we're closing out, but and also for the students out there, I know midterms is either here or coming up, depending on which major you're in. Right? Don't get stressed out too much, right? You guys got your family, friends that you can talk to, right? Stuff like that. It's gonna be all right. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you in 2 weeks. All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you.